perceiving the good in the world changes the world, and our perception transforms the reality before us. But I think it has to do with excavating and pulling out the trauma inside of us, giving it to the eternal light, giving it to the everythingness and this eternally loving and sustaining force that is what we are all composed of. So it's not that, I think the issue is when you perceive the good, when you perceive the God in everything and everyone, you can't expect other people to follow suit or see it the exact same way that you do. You have to let them sort of play at their resonance and at their amplitude, where they are, where they need to play out their stuff and their level of awareness or blindness or this or that. But in the meantime, you're a broadcast tower, you're seeing the God, you're in concert with the music. You're a conductor, you're a player, you're a witnesser of that vibration, that energy, that sound, that isness, that everythingness inside of you. So you can be in communion with it at all times, and it really is communion. It's, like manna from heaven, like the nourishment, the sustaining force, like the food of your soul, the food for your spirit. The word of love, the word of God, the word of I speak loving energy, I speak loving thoughts into my reality, I speak eternal bliss into everything around me. But really seeing the sacred, seeing the God, and seeing that everything before my eyes is God, and giving up the need to be separate, giving up the need to be better, and therefore being able to bask in it, being able to be in the music of it, in the music of God. And because I think resentment can get exhausting, anger can get exhausting, playing games of division can get extremely exhausting. And it's satisfying for the ego, right? But you pay the price. So, right? And a lot of people will continue to play in division for a long, long, long time. And it's not that you don't have thoughts of anger and thoughts of reactivity and lashing out and feeling hurt, feeling angry at the people that harmed you or betrayed you or broke your heart, but you really just say, hey, instead of playing in that, instead of indulging in that, instead of like doing this almost carnal lower base desire, which is just hate, reactivity, anger. It's like, no, I'm going to choose a different choice because I want to reside and dwell on a different channel where I do see the God in everything. Why don't I just entertain this for a while? Because I like staying on this channel. I like speaking love and victory and power and positivity into my life, into others' life, because you can just feel the boomerang. You can feel the return, like you're hitting a tennis ball over the net, and then it's like the tennis ball gets hit back to you of love and miracles and seeing the sacred. And of course, not everyone's going to be able to see the sacred, but they are sacred. Like if you recognize that we all are sacred, if we are all one soul, like of God, it's like it's all different vantage points of God peering through to get a different experience. But it's sometimes hard for the ego mind to comprehend that we're all one. But I find that the universe and everything before me and physicality and people is kinder to me when I literally just recognize everything as me and of God. And I try to stop myself before I have mean or angry thoughts or lash out or say negative things, dwell on negative things, obsess over this. Oh, the world is this way. Everyone's horrible. I hate everything. I hate this. I hate relationships. And of course, I've done that for a very, very long time in my life. And I still slink back into it, which is just anger and commiserating and why is the world this way? I hate everything. Screw them and screw that. But if I realize that my consciousness is an outpicturing, right? And it's a collective outpicturing thoughts and beliefs and collective agreements, collective things that have been consented upon about, what is solid matter, what is beauty, what is status, what is admirable. Like they just live in our energy, they live in the field. So we have to like cut them out of us, and we're rewriting the scripts, we're rewriting the codes of our aura, of our DNA, of our body, of our physiology, of all of it. And we're here to create a new history. And that's a big thing for me, because I have done a lot of dwelling on negativity in my life, a lot of dwelling on anger, a lot of stewing in anger, a lot of stewing in isolation and separation. And, it may feel good for a while, right? But we all need people. So I really mean it at the level of soul, at the level of like higher self to higher self. If you're decreeing something to the world, to the one soul, which is all 8 billion people and all souls, that's powerful there. That's like where the real work gets done. So I try now to take more of I've been pivoting to take more of a focus on just speaking what I really want. I don't want to live in the pain forever. I don't want to live in the separation and the isolation forever. And yeah, will it take the world a long time or a while to catch up? Maybe, yeah, a lot of people are still playing in separation, and maybe for a while, but that doesn't mean you can't seek communion with God in your own heart and call on that eternal power and decree it, and be a broadcast tower to send it throughout the world, to see people in their sacredness, to see people in their God essence, and the world starts to hear that energy and feel that energy, and will catch up even if they're not really conscious of what's happening. Speaking love into existence, speaking abundance and inner wealth of love into existence, speaking harmonious relationships into existence. And I even surprise myself, because I like to dwell on negativity. I really, really like it. It's really, really satisfying. But I've been forced to confront, you could say, my own creations, right? Thought loops and thought bubbles and outpicturings and emotions, and almost like emotional addictions we have to being separate, throwing a temper tantrum, saying screw everything, I hate everyone. So it's like, all right, maybe I'm in enough pain where I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be in my ivory tower and be better than everyone at the cost of, feeling the separateness, because I'm putting out separateness and division and anger in my thoughts and in my energy. So it's like this really, it's taking responsibility for your own machinery and saying, no, I'm going to rewrite the code on my machinery, rewrite the energies that live in my aura, that live in my brain, that live in my DNA. It's like we're really, the word is powerful. We're creating this, and I was cynical and skeptical for a long time, right? But it's really like when you really dig and dig and dig and dig and get some of that trauma out, you can start to breathe and unlayer and develop and tap more into who you really are, tap into that oneness, tap into that like exalting of God, the reverence for God, the reverence for me being an aspect of God, but you and every single thing around me equally being an aspect of God. Then it's like, all right, we can all join the party. We can all join the party. And then and when I allow that to be, and I don't think that I'm more worthy of or having more of a right to know God than the next person, then it's like, it's almost like the universe and God and the energy before me responds in kind and says, hey, you're included in all of this. You have a free-for-all on this feast of heavenly, tasty, magical wellspring of this most tasty and sustaining waters of the spirit. You know what I mean? Like that tasty, tasty, good, nourishing food for your soul, which is just love and that communion and closeness with God. That's what I think we're all seeking, and I've been seeking. That's part of the homesickness that a lot of us talk about, where it's like, it's harder to brave all the pain and the anger and the anguish and the sickness and all of it in the world when you don't have the close connection with God and you don't feel like you have that sanctuary inside your heart, and you're not connected to spirit, you're not connected to that wellspring of love, of the divine energy. So I find, like, when I put aside my anger, my condescension, my narrow-mindedness, which I've had a lot of course, and yeah, okay, maybe I needed to play that out, but I haven't been the most forgiving person and patient person, and I can be very idealistic in all this. So I find that when I just have more empathy, more compassion, and it's something you cultivate, right? It's not that you can't have bouts of anger and healing yourself and hurts yourself, but it's like it takes a lot of courage to be compassionate and strong and cultivating empathy for the world and saying, hey, everyone's imperfect, but I'm still going to dwell in love, because I don't want to, I don't want to put out the energy of judgment and hate and division, because that's not what I want to receive back. I want to be in those clutches and in that dwelling place and in that house of God. So I don't feel so homesick. So I don't feel so alone. I am releasing any contracts and obsessive or neurotic needs to divide or preach or be right, and I allow God's energy to flow in like a wellspring of nourishing and sustaining water, the eternal waters of love. I am confident, I am joyous, I am light, and I enjoy and feel the love of everything around me, the birds and the tree and the water and the sky. And I am allowed to this. I'm allowed this. This is my inheritance. I allow the love of others to flow in their higher selves, their divine selves, to flow through now. And I do not block the flow of it by mandating who should be worthy of love and who should not be. I stay in my lane. I release the contracts, the collective agreements, the energies that live in my body and my soul and my mind and my DNA that are rooted in self-sabotage, hate, emotional abuse, and pain. I allow them to be released. I give them up to God, and I allow for a new energy to flow into me and through me, to be with me now and to be with us now. I surrender to this divine flow, and I do not block the wellspring and the waterfall flowing into me by trying to say who is worthy of God and who should be kept outside of God and who should be kept outside of love. We are all one. I bask in the oneness. I allow for the sanctuary. I allow for the power to pulsate in me and through me, while also knowing that I am not separate from anything around me. I am eternal victory. We are eternal victory. We are eternal victory. I am dwelling in this love, and I am comforted. I am nourished by this love, and I feel a sense of home and safety and sanctuary in my body. I am safe to be in my body. I am safe to be in my body. I do not need to be anywhere else. I do not need to be afraid or scared to inhabit my breath, this planet, this world. I am allowed and I am safe to be around other people, as we are one, as they are my family. We are a family, even as people lash out and get angry and get sad and seek justice for the harm. We allow, we hold space. We hold space for the imperfections of humanity. We hold space for the broken hearts. We compassionately stay here, right now. We are with these feelings in our hearts. We do not abandon our own heart, and in doing so, we do not abandon the heart of humanity. So we are compassionately here as beacons and radio towers and broadcast towers and shining suns, as we light and ignite other suns and other torches of fire. And we do so willingly, basking in this eternal victory, in this eternal ecstasy of love, and knowing that we never need to be outside of it. we dwell in this love, and I feel the peace. I feel the joy and the substance and the nourishing energy in every breath that I take. I commune with the sacred. I commune and allow the nourishing energy of the sacred to flow through every cell of my body now. I am ready to write a new story. I'm ready to let my cells and my body and my muscles and my mind and my aura and my energy to know a new story of victory, of vibrancy, of authenticity, of humor, of triumph and love and unity and connectedness. I am ready and I embody it, and we embody this right now. And so it is. We are allowed to be our authentic selves. We are allowed to embody our true selves, and the love that we put out into the world, the acceptance and the emotional space that we hold for the world is then given back to us, is then reciprocated to us by the universe, by God, by the everythingness. And we are held in the clutches of creation, because everything is beautiful and everything is sacred before us, even when it does not recognize itself as beautiful. We are here triumphantly, and we stand in this energy, receiving and accepting and allowing for continuous love and continuous miracles. And so it is. Amen.